Hello everybody, this is Dr. Bam, and I wanted to take some time to give you some extra context for the Unit 1 Concept 6 assignment in the Unit 1 module. So on page 11 of your textbook, the following statement is made by NAEYC, the National Association for the Education of Young Children, which is really the primary group that guides best practices in regards to education and developmental practices for young children. Well, they're quoted as saying, planning for positive child guidance should rely not only on strategies for external control, but instead should support the child's naturally unfolding motivation for self-control. And so I really wanted to take a second to break down and discuss what that means. And so that really looks at that when we're developing child guidance strategies to use in our classroom or in our homes, that we should not rely strictly on external control or control from someone other than the child, such as an adult, an authority figure, and some other, an older sibling sometimes, a teacher, certainly a parent. But instead, we want to develop the child's naturally unfolding motivation for self-control, or what we call self-regulation skills. And this is the child's ability to regulate their own emotions, behaviors, decisions. And so when we're angry, we want them to develop ways that they can work through that anger without having to be intervened by an external control. This is very important because think about as they age and move through life, if they always have to have intervention from an external control or an adult authority figure, government, the police, then that's going to really impact their ability to make good, what we call societal citizenship type decisions. So the only thing that would be keeping them from doing a crime such as stealing would be the fact that stealing is illegal and that they could have a punishment for it. And so if that punishment or threat of punishment was small or not possible, then they would still possibly make the choice to steal because that was their preferred method. However, if stealing is something that they fundamentally see as wrong within their own belief system, and developing how they react to wanting something, which, develop good ways to manage their want, such as saving money or doing something that was positive, not to get the item that they wanted instead of stealing. Those are definitely behaviors that we want in our society. So we want to develop these motivations for self-control, and that was a bigger example. It could just be as much as we don't yell at strangers when they bump into us. Why? Because that's the behaviors that we control on our own, understanding that that's the proper way to handle our own emotions and all of that. And so we want to develop those self-regulation, self-control skills so that they have a lifelong positive impact, because if you went through life without them, life may be harder for you, right? Because a lot of them could have negative responses from others. So thinking about that is, why do we want to move children from external control to self-control? So how does this influence? So then your job for this assignment is to discuss in 3 to 5 sentences how this statement, this idea of we don't want them relying only on external control, but we want them developing motivation for self-control. How does this influence what we do in the classroom or in the home with young children in any type of early childhood environment? So I'm not focusing on you telling me what the statement means, but rather, how does it influence what we do in the environment as educators, as guiders of young children's behavior? I hope that helps clarify any questions, and as always, contact me if you have any additional questions or thoughts.